Okay, hello. Today I wanted to do some solo RPG. I've been soloing OD&D Mega Dungeon using Sandbox Generator and delving deeper, and I was also using my combat hack of OD&D called Chaos Reigns that was recently released and you can find it on itch. And that's really fun. But today I thought I would try something different. I wanted to kinda just try something really wacky and out there and see if it works. So we will see, I guess. So the impetus for this was this zine called Frog Errant, Sword and Ribbit's Adventure Gaming by Matthew Morris. This is a GM-less RPG inspired by Into the Odd and Mouse Ritter, and you play as a frog. I think it's primarily for use with Mouse Ritter. Yeah, there you go. It's a deadly and brutal world out there, and it is not too friendly for a lone frog. But if you embrace your quest and heed the omens, you may just be able to make a name for yourself. And if you wander long and far enough, you may be remembered in the songs of both frogs and mice. So if you paid attention to the channel at all, you will probably know that I love frogs. I have changed my avatar to be a frog, and I think they are pretty cool. I saw this and I was like, I have to pick this up. I also donated some art for the deluxe edition that I drew a while back. And yeah, I was hoping that will help Matthew out. He's a cool guy. Go buy his stuff. It's really cool. He makes a bunch of Into the Odd stuff, a bunch of stuff for Bastards. Great guy. So yeah, going back to Frog Errant, you start by making a Frog Knight, and they have 3 basic attribute scores. If you're familiar with Into the Odd or Mouse Ritter, you know these to be Strength, Dexterity, and Willpower. So I've rolled up a character already, and I've already gotten my equipment and also the species, and I'll just walk you through who my character is. So this is Elyan. Elyan? Elyan? Elyan. Elyan. I'm gonna go with Elyan. Elyan, the Toad Inquisitor. They're a big chunky boy. They've got 15 strength, 14 dexterity, 14 willpower, 4 hit protection, and they have prowess of 3. So prowess is something that was added into the system. Prowess are basically omens in Murkborg. They can let you deal maximum damage during one combat turn, negate all incoming damage in one combat turn, automatically succeed a save, or force an enemy to automatically fail a save. So yeah, I got a feat of having advantage on strength rolls because I am a toad, and toads are big and chunky. My quest is to meet a ghost and free its spirit, which I guess makes me some kind of exorcist? Maybe? My dooms is beware the rat's intentions. So dooms are pretty cool actually. They're like these prophecies that may or may not happen and may influence your adventure in some way. And if it actually does happen, then you have to roll on this harrowing experiences table. There's also pips, which are the currency of the world. 1 pip equals to 1 XP, and so you can use that to buy stuff, or you can use that to level up. And there are feats at the back here, as well as some solo stuff. It's an all-in-one package. And here's the character sheet that I'm not gonna use, because I have it right here. So we have our initial quest, which is to meet a ghost and free its spirit, and we're supposed to beware of some kind of rat. We don't have much else to go on other than that, so I'm gonna start asking some questions. I might not use the oracle in the book, maybe I will, maybe for the open-ended questions. But I think I'm gonna use Game Unfolding Machine. This is version 1 from Jensen Vars. There's a version 2 out, but I think this is gonna work just fine. I also have the extended version of it, and I also have this pamphlet of prompts, which is from Stravagante, which is this cutesy RPG. The person who made this has a YouTube channel as well, called, I believe, Penflower Inc. I really enjoy their videos. I'm a subscriber and I like watching them ink stuff, and it's just awesome how good they are at art. Also, I might or might not be using Nightmare Loom, which is a folk horror adventure generator for Mouse Ritter that may make things a bit more grim, maybe? So we'll just dive into it and see how it turns out. So I'm just going to use the pamphlet of prompts, and there is a way to make a map on here. I'm just gonna make a grid on this index card. It's, oh my god, I can't draw straight lines. But there you go, that's good enough. Let's see what kind of terrain this thing is on. And by thing, I mean the settlement. Because I assume we are starting from a settlement. We'll just roll that. I got a 6 and a 5. A walled city, okay. So we're inside of some kind of walled city. I'm gonna start us off right here. Yeah, sure, something like this. Bunch of buildings inside. And I'm assuming there's like an inquisitorial force. And we are one of the hit inquisitors, Elyan. Actually, how much power does Elyan hold? Are they a senior or are they a junior? So I'm gonna say that 1 is they've been doing this for a short amount of time. Maybe they were a mercenary in the past. But 6 is gonna be they've been in here for a while. 2, okay, so basically they're not completely new to this, but they were previously a mercenary of some sort, maybe? That's what I'm thinking. And they transitioned to this career, maybe because of some kind of like spiritual reason. And they're given a task by the head inquisitor to meet a ghost and free its spirit. Is this ghost a frog? So I'm gonna say that the main residents of this walled city are all frogs. Maybe they're like on a giant, huge kind of lily pad. That'd be pretty funny if this entire thing was just ocean. Yeah, sure, let's say like there's a gigantic lake kind of like going towards the side here. Let's just make that up. And that the walled city is kind of on a lily pad, and there's also kind of like some ocean around it leading to the river. Not sure if I'm using the term ocean correctly. There is a large pond, a very large pond. A pond large enough to hold a walled city. Yeah, we're going with that. Okay, and I'm gonna say that the quest location is a few stops away. Let's say, I don't know. Let's take 2d6 and take the higher, I guess. That's 4. So it's 4 spots away, and for direction, I'm just gonna roll a d8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's gonna be in that direction. 1, so it's going to be, let me just extend this grid out a little bit. It's gonna be right here. X marks this spot. I am also gonna say that since Elyan has been living here most of his life, maybe he was a mercenary in the past, but he hasn't seen much of the city or outside of the city since his inquisitorial training, so a lot of things might have changed. He won't know the terrain all that well, or he might not have remembered it all that well. Yeah, so we're just gonna start exploring. So the way this is gonna work is I am going to roll for the terrain, the weather, and possibly a settlement if I roll a d6 and get a 6. Okay, let's do that. So 2d6, we get 3, which is mountains. I almost rolled volcano, which would be pretty funny if the place was right next to a volcano, like a lily pad, and right next to it is some kind of volcano. But we're going through some mountains. Let's see an adjective of some sort. 5 and 1. Feared mountains. Feared mountains. Okay. Let's see what the weather's like on our trip towards the feared mountains. 4 and 3. That's gonna be mild. So it's mild weather, but we're going towards this spooky mountain. Is there a settlement here? So if I roll a 6, there's gonna be a settlement. That's a 4. There is no settlement. However, it's spooky as all heck, so I'm assuming there's gonna be some kind of encounter. What I'm going to do for this is I'm going to roll on the scene designer table in Game Unfolding Machine, and I'm just going to see what it gives me. So I'm going to roll a d20, and let's see, got a 10, which is there's some kind of object, something to interact with, be taken, or somehow actionable. So there's some kind of item on this spooky mountain. Let's roll for an item then. We're trekking up the mountain, we're doing our best not to slip and fall. We're just trying to get up there so we can get past this obstacle, and we find a weapon of some kind. Oh, okay. So what that tells me is that this was a site of some kind of battle. Are the people who are fighting still here? I think that's interesting, so I'm gonna say 2d6 and take the higher. So the way I'm doing this is 1 is a no end, 2 is a no, 3 is a no but, 4 is a yes but, 5 is a yes, and 6 is a yes and. So it's pretty simple. Lower is more no and higher is more yes? Yeah, something like that. So I'm just gonna roll that. Let's see whether there are still people from the conflict around here. There's gonna be a tree, a no but. So I'm thinking that there was a combat here, they were fighting, and basically the victor ran away and maybe took some of their goods but left behind their weapon. So we just find this dead person on the ground. It's probably not a person, is it? It's probably some kind of frog or toad or a mouse or something. Yeah, species. Well, is it a frog? 50-50, I guess. No. I'm just gonna eliminate the but here because it doesn't make as much sense. Okay, is it some kind of rodent? No, it's not some kind of rodent. It's not some kind of frog. I think I need to take out my copy of Maze Rats. Give me a second. Okay, I am back with my copy of Maze Rats. Alright, let's see. We want a creature of some kind. Yeah, let's say it's a terrestrial creature. What's this thing gonna be? 5 and a 1. That is going to be a rat. The Oracle lied to me. Oh well, I guess it's a rat. At this point, Elyan remembers the doom that the old sage, the old toad sage told him, which was beware the rat's intentions. And he looks upon this rat and is dead, right? Is it undead? I'm gonna say that's likely. That's a yes but. So it's undead, but it's unclear to Elyan, at least from the outset. I think he's gonna have to make some kind of will check to see whether he can notice that this thing is actually undead. He got a 2, which is a success. So Elyan is creeping up the mountain and he suddenly sees this range, this clearing, and there's this kind of like dead rat warrior with a weapon on him and seems to have been killed in some kind of combat. As he gets closer, he notices that the rat is twitching in some way, shape, or form. Elyan is gonna use his strength to try and grapple down this creature and try to stop them from even getting up to be able to attack him. That should be pretty easy with 15 strength and advantage on strength rolls, I think. He got a natural 1, so that's a success. That's a crit. He's able to completely stop the undead rat from getting up and making any kind of action, and he holds his holy symbol onto the undead rat. Beware the rat's intentions. I think he's gonna remember this line and he's gonna ask the rat about what happened to it. Why is it just lying there even though it's undead? Is it trying to trick us? I'm gonna roll on the spark tables here for action and subject, and I'm gonna get 4 and 12, which is Vanquish, Fervor. The Vanquishing of Fervor. Basically, I'm thinking this rat got killed in combat, and they thought they were dead. They thought they were dead for sure. So they just kind of stayed there. Even though they weren't really dead, they were undead. Kind of strange, but I'm going with it. Does this mean we have a new ally? Is this rat kind of friendly towards us? I'm gonna say that's 50-50. No, and it's gonna try to kill us. But Elyan rolled a strength check and got a 1 just now, which means I think that this rat will not be able to get up and make an attack, but it's obviously hostile. Elyan is gonna ask it a few questions about, yeah, what's its goal here? Why was it attacked, and, you know, how does that tie in to the ghost that we're trying to find? That's gonna be 7. Oh, it just wants a quiet life. But beware the rat's intentions, it might be lying to us. Yeah, I think it's lying to us. Okay, 1. Elyan is an Inquisitor. This thing is undead. He probably wants to kill it. 2. He was warned that a rat will basically try to mess up his journey. And 3. This thing seems to be lying to him. But it did say it wanted a quiet life, so who attacked it? Yeah, let's just roll up another creature. I think this one can be a either an aerial creature or a terrestrial creature. Let's just say 1 to 3 is aerial, 4 to 6 is terrestrial. 1, so it's a aerial animal. 5 and a 3, that's going to be a parrot. Alright, I'm gonna say some kind of bird. I'm gonna take the owl. The owl tried to eat the rat. This giant owl tried to eat this rat. And it tried bravely to fend it off, but it got killed in single combat. I think Elyan is just gonna leave them alone? That's probably a horrible idea, but I mean, even though they're undead, even though Elyan is an Inquisitor, and even though they were warned about rats, I think Elyan is gonna have a kind soul and is gonna be like, oh, this guy just wants a quiet life. Let him live the rest of his undead life in peace, I guess. I think I'm just gonna make the hard decision and make Elyan let the guy go, which is probably gonna lead to us getting killed in the final act of this. We'll see. You know, we never did end up figuring out what the ghost species was gonna be. Let's just roll it up as well. Why not? I'm gonna say it's terrestrial. 6 and 1. A snake. Don't frogs get eaten by snakes? Meet a ghost and freed spirit and is a snake ghost? That doesn't seem right, but that seems kind of interesting actually. Maybe the snake is one of the good ones. Maybe it's one who swore off frog eating. Maybe the Inquisition in this is slightly nicer than the Inquisition in real life, and they are, you know, trying to make peace with their enemies. Okay, let's just note that down. It's gonna be a snake of some kind. A snake ghost. Alright, so we just leave this undead rat behind and we keep on going. What is next on our journey? What is next on our journey? Terrain. 3 and 1. That's hills. Okay, so the mountains are starting to give way to hills of some kind. Is there a settlement here on these hills? No, there is not. I'm gonna say that the weather... Let's say that this is a new day and we're going through and each square takes a day, so what's the weather like right now? 5 and a 3, it's misty, it's kind of hard to see anything, which means that if we get into combat that's gonna be bad. Let us roll on the scene designer table and let's see what we get. 20, a discovery. Open scene for investigation, discovery, findings, and exploration. So we find something here that relates back to our quest of freeing the snake spirit. I think I'm just gonna roll again on the spark tables here. Let's see what we get for our action and subject. 14 and 8. Exalt misfortune. The exaltation of misfortune. That sounds like something bad is gonna happen. Is it a combat encounter? I think it's likely. Oh yeah, yes, and so as we're going through these misty hills, it's hard to see what is going on, and suddenly something comes into view. An animal of some kind, a terrestrial animal of some kind, and it is 6 and 1. It's a snake. It's a snake. It's a snake. That's... Man, you can't make this stuff up. So we get attacked by a snake. That seems bad. Does this snake know the snake that we are about to, you know, free the ghost of? Is it coming for revenge because it thought that we were the killers of that snake? Let's ask whether it knows the snake in question. I'm gonna say that's likely. There's gonna be a 5, so that's gonna be a yes. So they're a relative of the snake, and they're attacking us. They're probably not aware of our mission. We're gonna try calm it down using a will check here. But it's trying to attack us, so I'm gonna actually make that a disadvantage. So I'm gonna take the higher. That is a 17. That is a no. It is going to attack us while we are yapping about. I'm just gonna say there's a d6 worth of damage. And we take 4 damage, which puts our HP to 0, which is bad. In this system, and into the odd likes, when you hit 0, you don't die per se. You usually get some kind of scar or something, and it starts going away from your strength. Now, if it goes away from your strength, and you get critically damaged from that by rolling a d20 and getting over your stat, then you're basically dead. But I'm not dead yet, it just left a nasty gash in... I'm gonna say my arm, so there's like a scar there now. Yeah. I'm gonna try again to calm it down, actually. I'm gonna try again to calm it down. I am not gonna try to attack it because we know that Elyan is a peaceful character. So we're just gonna do disadvantage again. That's a 13. Okay, so that's barely a pass. That's good. So we're able to calm it down enough. It sees that we're not trying to attack it even though we have this heavy sword with us. And it backs off enough for us to ask it why it's attacking us. I think I might have an idea of who set this snake onto us. I think it's the rat, the undead rat. Is it the undead rat? I think that's likely. I'm gonna say 2d6 take the higher. Oh yeah, it's definitely the undead rat. Beware the rat's intentions, and we just got the rat to basically fool us, tell us that it was just some regular old undead rat, and now we're getting attacked by a snake because we're really dumb and really gullible. So every time something like that happens where we actually fall to our doom, we're supposed to roll a d6 for a harrowing experience, and then we're supposed to apply the outcome. So what's the harrowing experience this time? A 4. So 4 is something to do with fairies, and I don't think that's gonna be in my settings, so I'm just gonna re-roll that actually. I got a 3. Your amphibious nature kicks in. You need to live by the water for d12 days. Oh man, we can't do that. We're on a quest. We're on a quest to free this snake spirit. But now we are basically screwed over and we have to live by the ocean. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That means we have to go back to where we came from. I'm gonna say that we can kind of keep going, but we get disadvantage on everything that we roll. I think that's fair to say. So I'm gonna say that this snake, now knowing that it got fooled into attacking us even though we were trying to free the spirit of its relative, is gonna back off. It's gonna actually be our ally because of how things worked out. And we're gonna go together to try to free this snake's spirit. I don't think I'm gonna have stats for the snake. I'm just gonna put their snake companion and roll a name for it. I'll just roll a name from the Maze Rat's tables, I guess. Is it gonna be a male or female name? 1 to 3 is male, 4 to 6 is female. It's gonna be a male name, and the name is 4 and 2, Leopold. I actually like Jules better. I'm gonna call the snake Jules with 3 S's. Jules. Yeah, that's our companion, Jules. Very good. Yeah, we're gonna set out together and we're gonna find the spirit of Jules' sister and we're gonna put an end to this madness. But everything I have is now at a disadvantage because I'm cursed. And because I'm not living by the water. So this is going pretty badly, actually. But hey, at least we have a companion, right? Right. Okay, we are very much reaching our goal. I'm going to roll on terrain. Once more. Terrain. 6 and 2, that's 8. Fields. Okay, it's going from mountains to hills to fields. That's nice. Fields. And I am gonna roll for the weather. The weather is kind of damp, which makes sense. It was mild, then misty, then damp. Is there a settlement here? No, there is not. I'm gonna roll for some kind of adjective. We forgot to roll that for the hills, but let's roll it for the plains here. 6 and 2 is gonna be fashionable or popular. I don't think that makes any sense. How about 26? Poor or everyday? Okay, maybe it's in poor, like, condition. Maybe the fields are all burned and razed to the ground. Let's roll one more time on the scene designer table. There's an 8. NPC presence. Someone neutral could know something, otherwise move on. Somebody who might know something about the plight of the creature directly to the north. Someone neutral. I think we're entering snake territory. So what I think is that there are just a bunch of snakes here. Is that correct? I'm gonna say it's likely. That's a yes and. Okay, so there are a bunch of snakes here. It's some kind of like snake hideout, and we're led into it by Jules. So Jules calms down everyone and tells them that Elyan is here to help out and to free the spirit of their companion. But why haven't they done it themselves? Is it because snakes don't have, like, fingers and hands to hold holy relics with. That's no, that's too stupid, even for me. Yeah, it's probably some kind of creature that has trapped it. I'm gonna say it's some kind of oh wait, there's a threat table here. Let's say that there's a true source of the horror that's keeping the snake spirit within its grasp. Okay, let's roll a d12 and let's see what the threat is. It is for a scorpion. Adjective. An abject scorpion. Oh, okay. The abject shapeshifter scorpion. And the action is that sings. Okay, what I'm getting from this is it's some kind of scorpion. There's abject and it's a shapeshifter, so maybe not really a scorpion. And it sings and traps souls within its singing. It's shapeshifting. Is the scorpion the undead rat? Did it turn into an undead rat to fool us, essentially? I'm not even gonna roll for that. That sounds like it's exactly the case, actually. So I'm not even gonna roll for it. But it's right up ahead, and it's still singing its deathly song. I'm gonna roll for its stats, this shape-shifting scorpion. 2d6, that's gonna be a 5. It's got 11 HP, holy crap. Okay, the singing scorpion shapeshifter. It's got 11 out of 11 HP. And does it have armor? 4 and 6 is 10. That is 1 armor. What's its attack like? 3. That's 1d8 or 1d10 depending on what attack they do. There's critical skill and size. I'm actually curious about the size. Let's see, is it a large scorpion? That's an 8. So no, barely not, it's just normal size. A normal sized shape-shifting scorpion who sings and traps the souls of those who hear its songs forevermore. And also shape-shifted into an undead rat and caused us to almost die. So yeah, I say we go over and we kill it. We know exactly where it is. It's just a matter of hitting there and confronting it, I think. Seems simple enough. Is there any kind of intervention? Because there is an intervention kind of table in Game Unfolding Machines. So I'm just gonna roll a d100 on that. Let's see. That's a 93. Lays out a hazardous trap or ambush. So it knows we're coming and is going to try to ambush us. We're gonna have to roll our will, which we are gonna have to roll at a disadvantage because we are not by the sea. So that's bad. Actually, wait, before we do that, let's roll the terrain of this area first. Let's see, terrain. Let's just roll for it. And we got a 10, which is... Oh my god, we got swamp! We got swamp, which means that we are not at a disadvantage because we're next to a body of water. This scorpion messed up, big time. Oh my god, that is pretty cool. So we are actually in a swamp of some kind with the scorpion there. And it's actually gonna allow us to be able to do our actions normally. I'm gonna also roll for an adjective because it's pretty fun so far to do that. 1 in a 3. It's ghostly. Ooh, that makes sense. Since there are like the souls of all these trapped animals and snakes and toads and all this stuff like littered about this swamp. And yeah, there's this large scorpion. Well, not large. We ruled that it wasn't large. This medium-sized singing scorpion shapeshifter singing its awful song is gonna try to ambush us. I think it's gonna be like using its song to distract us and then trying to ambush us that way. We're gonna have to roll a will check and it's just gonna be a normal roll because this is in a swamp. That's going to be a success. So we were able to actually see that coming and we were able to essentially not get fooled. And I think that guarantees us a first strike. So we are going to just attack it. Both Elyan and the snake companion Jules, I think. That's gonna be a 6. And Jules is going to bite at this scorpion and get a 2. So that's going to be 6 and a 2. That's actually gonna bring it down by quite a bit to 3 HP. Actually, it's not 3, it's 5 because we attacked twice. and there's 1 armor, so it deflected off 1 from each. The Scorpion is gonna know that the gig is up. I think it's gonna have 2 attacks. One is a regular attack and one is a horrible singing attack, in which if we fail our will checks, then we take d10 damage. So which attack is it gonna use? 1 to 3 is gonna use a regular attack and sting us. 4 to 6 is gonna sing. Okay, it's just gonna try to sting us. Is it gonna go for the snake jewels, or is it gonna go for Elyan? Is it going to go for Elyan is my question, I guess. 50-50. No, it's gonna go for Jules. Let's roll up how much HP Jules has actually, just a d6. Oh, they have 2 HP. And I'm not gonna do the strength thing, so this might just kill them. Oh, they dealt 1 damage. So, they're okay. I mean, they're not okay, they're at 1 health. But, they've survived. Back to our turn, I guess, as we all just try to kill this scorpion thing. This horrible monstrosity. And I'm gonna swing with my heavy sword. And that's gonna be a 3. And Jules is going to please get a 2 or more. Got a 1! Oh my god. Okay, so that's a 1 and a 3. It has 1 armor, which means that it only took 2 damage, which means it goes down to 3 HP. That's not great. Is it gonna sing? Oh, it is gonna sing. We're gonna have to pass a will check. I'm gonna say that Jules has a will of 10, just average. Oh, we fail. That's bad. Does Jules fail? Jules barely passes. They had a 10 and they rolled a 10. So, Elyan is gonna hear this sing-song kind of lullaby, and they're gonna take a horrendous amount of damage, d10 damage to their strength. 6 of it, which puts them at 9 out of 15. And now I have to roll a critical damage save for that. If I roll a 10 or higher, Elyan is at the end of his journey. I got a natural 20. Elyan is dead. Jules has survived, but Elyan, because they were injured before by Jules, their soul escapes their body and joins all of the captured ghosts. It's now only up to Jules to be able to kill this thing, and it's now their turn as well, so we're going to have to score a 4 or higher. Otherwise, this thing is not going down, because it has 1 armor, so we need a 4 or higher. We got a 5! And that kills it, freeing all of the souls in this last kind of like melodic tune, and they're all let free. Elyan's dead, but his soul is at least not, you know, in some kind of weird perpetual limbo. Jules barely survives, and I suppose that's the end of our story. The story of Elyan, the Toad Inquisitor who tried to do the right thing, but kind of is really gullible and got fooled by a Shapeshifting Scorpion. But even though they were killed, they were avenged by their new companion Jules. Their short-lived companion, since they, you know, died. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, I'll leave a link to all of the stuff that I used during this playthrough. If you enjoyed that playthrough, should I do the YouTube thing? Yeah, hit like and subscribe. I guess I'm a slave to the algorithm now. Yeah, tell me what you think about the adventure in the comments. I have not done an adventure like this which requires a lot of interpretation in a while, but it was still very fun. I still enjoyed it a lot, and I hope you did too. So I hope you have a great day, and bye-bye.